after I said to you, hey.
What you said to me?
You gonna be ready at 8:15? You're like, yeah, I should be.
That was 30 minutes ago, or 45 minutes ago now. Anyway, we're live. About to start this podcast. Trying to switch it up. Let me see. Let me get on.
Yes, put yours on. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Come on. Protocol.
So it's all on Facebook. Where's Instagram? Oh, we did our own Instagram.
Yeah.
What do we want to do? You want to still do it?
You can from your phone?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just Instagram. Okay. Okay, Jordan. What's up?
Hey.
All right. So.
Got Bree. Got Sharon.
Let me see.
Give us a second. Give us a second. He wants to set something up. So we're going to let him set something up.
Okay, I see you with the picture there.
What?
Looking fly.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Welcome.
Okay, man. Yeah, I ain't got work, man. I can get you work.
Come on, work it out. That's what we doing, Bree. That's what we doing.
Yeah.
These
going to get a lot more informal.
We gonna work it out.
These lives are a lot more informal because, as Kim's going to explain in a second,
What am I explaining?
That these are the lives of us recording.
Oh yeah. So yeah, as Clee is explaining, because this is going to be edited out on the podcast. However, we're switching it up how we do our lives now. We will be live. However, it will be a podcast. So you all, if you are streaming with us via Instagram, Facebook, you'll be able to see us recording our podcast live. So we'll still be able to see your comments and interact with y'all. But we'll basically be shooting for our podcast for the Strategy Geeks. So yeah. Oh, hey, Lee. Come on, switch it up. That's right. Switching it up for the 2021. Okay.
For the 99.
I know that's what I had in my head. I had for the 99 2000, but it's not. It's not 99 2000.
It's not relevant right now. Huh?
For the 2021, no. Can't do that. For the 21, no. Nah. Thanks, please. She said, "Love the mics." Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to sound
your
professional.
Gadget guy.
Go ahead. Tell her
who shall not be named.
How I set it up today.
Set it up.
And it's working.
Literally 10 seconds ago.
Hey, it's an adventure.
Which we said 8:15. And what time is it?
Wrong.
So y'all already know.
Don't.
But y'all will soon learn about that as our, we talk and put out our podcast more about us.
I'm trying to see what we want to call it.
Cleet sounds like he's in the room and Kim is in the mic.
Okay, am I in the mic now?
Thank you.
Am I in the mic now? How about that?
Thank you, Bree. Does Cleet sound clear to y'all?
Do I sound clear?
Thank you for joining us tonight, y'all. Hey, happy Tuesday.
Yep. What is it? What are we calling this?
Just thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Talk to the people.
I'm in the mic. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, we're working out the studio. We figure. Listen, best way to do it. Oh, thank you, Fee. We figured the best way to start this off is just dive right into it. Sometimes you try to overplan and make stuff more complicated than it have to be. Can probably say I made it a little complicated with the mics, but I wanted us to sound clear for our podcast, and I wanted to make sure that we can deliver a product that we'll be proud of. Thank you very much. So we good?
Yeah.
All right. So
I believe I did it.
You just gotta hook it up. Oh Lord Jesus.
How much better. Sabrina's laughing. Yeah, y'all already know. Y'all already know how he is.
Don't even do it. It's hot in here.
They just, make us not cricket, There you go. Thank you.
Go ahead, crack that AC down for your boy.
Oh gosh.
It's a little hot. I'm working, trying to figure this out. All right. press live. All right.
Yeah. Good job.
Okay.
Good job.
You know what I'm saying? I want to mess it up, All right. I think we're about ready to get started. We're live.
All right. Thank you for bearing with us. We wanted to make sure a few things were straight.
That's right. Welcome, Instagram. Glad to be back. So, if anybody tuned in before, we're not talking to the people, right? Well, we can talk to the people at the beginning. Yeah. That was loud. Like that was in my headphones. Oh,
because it's my phone. Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm like, where?
Like, what's going on here? This is a trial podcast.
That's right. This is the trial. Man, yes, thank you.
We gotta start somewhere,
but on the podcast, this will be edited out, y'all. See, But see the what did I say? What should I say? The perks of you all streaming with us live. You'll be able to see, the raw, uncut, cut, giggles and stuff.
Uncut giggles. Because you want uncut giggles.
We'll still have giggles on the podcast, but
how does an uncut giggle look?
Uncut giggles. I don't know. I just made that up on the spot.
Oh man. Okay. But yeah, so we're gonna figure out how we interact with the audience, right? So obviously once we get into the thick of the podcast, it's not gonna be like a live style where we're going back and forth. But
right.
We do want to appreciate you guys for jumping on and reference you. So we'll figure out that cadence. But other than that, man, we're just happy that you're hanging out, hanging out with us for a few minutes. We're still going to keep the time frame about the same. We're not going to go over, the traditional time unless we get into it.
Right.
Another thing that's new, we're going to do interviews. We're going to start doing some interviews. So we have some phenomenal entrepreneurs, and you'll see what we focus on, right? So we focus on the journey of an entrepreneur.
Right.
We're obviously entrepreneurs. We've started our business, and there's just so many things that you come across. So the podcast is to really just highlight other entrepreneurs, highlight things that we're all going through, and share best practices, and really give insight from the area that we're geniuses in, right? And that would be marketing.
Our zone of genius.
Our zone. There we go. I was thinking of the right way of saying it. So our zone of genius, right, which would be design.
Now, before you get into it,
Well, I'm just going into the podcast.
Yes, because we're gonna be covering that in the podcast.
So I'm gonna say all that again, right? Yeah.
Pretend y'all didn't hear that, right? See, that's the perks of being live.
I just wanted to get that.
And then sometimes, y'all know, we're parents, so you might have little ones pop in every now and again, like right now.
Tell Aiden, Paris.
You're not whispering. You look. When somebody's like,
you look away.
Hey, tell Aiden.
All right. Hold on, y'all.
Anywho, record your info. That's right, Bree. But anywho, like I would normally do on our typical live, happy Tuesday, you all. I hope you all have had a better than ever Easter weekend. Hope you all have been having a better than ever week. We missed y'all. But we're back again, recording the podcast now. So we're excited about that. And looking forward to greater things.
That's right. So are we ready to dive right into it?
We are.
We're going to do our little intro.
We can do our intro. I like, shot. I ain't going to say it yet.
What?
Nothing.
I don't even know what we're going to do.
I know. Pew, pew, pew.
All right.
Just to initiate the podcast. Come on.
Right. Okay.
Great things. That's right, Bree.
I'm about to mess this up. I already know. All right, here we go. I can't do it. The pressure. All right.
All right, great people. It's your girl, Kim the Geek, and
Cleet the Geek.
And welcome to
the Strategy Geeks Podcast.
That's
pew,
right,
pew, pew, pew,
pew, pew, pew, pew, pew.
Okay. Okay, she put a career deal.
Y'all know how I used to be in the club and the pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Right. Welcome to
I
podcast.
took that from Kev on Stage. I don't know if you all follow Kev on Stage and That Chick Angel. They have a podcast called Hear the Things.
Yes.
And their intro podcast. That's how they come on. Pew 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 pew.
Yes.
With all the, you know.
Yeah, the pump and circumstances.
Yes, the pump and circumstances. It's hilarious every single time. So I was like, I just got to do it just for fun.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited. This is our first official episode of our Strategy Geeks Podcast.
Yes.
And it's been a long time coming. If any of you have followed us in the past, okay, that's better. She's adjusting my mic.
Yes.
All right. If you followed us in the past, we've, for about a year now, over a year, give and take the breaks.
It's going to be over.
So over a year, we've been doing a Facebook Live where we would come on and share just different best practices from our industry with people who are in all stages of business, you know, and anyone needing a website, graphic design, you know, any of those startup portions of your business where you're getting started, social media management, messaging. We've covered a whole array of topics. Yeah, no, I had to make sure.
I was about to say boatload, but you said array.
Yeah, I went to college, you know. I paid attention a few times. So, we covered a whole bunch of things in our you know, our lives. So we wanted that to kind of mold into a podcast. We've been talking about it for months and we finally pulled it together. So today is this is our first episode. We're excited to kind of not necessarily hit the reset button, but kind of just bring some order to it and go from there. That's my little intro. I know Kimberly's going to have a more concise intro, but I just wanted to just say how excited I am to jump into this.
Yeah, I really don't have a concise intro, but I do want to give a little, you know, disclaimer for those, you know, we do have shout out to our live streamers who have the perk right now of watching us stream our first podcast tonight.
What is it? Discord?
Huh?
Discord. No, what's the thing?
Patreon.
Yeah, they got the Patreon. You know what I'm saying?
Our Patreon.
It's free right now.
Yes.
But no, just
no, but yes. I just want to give a disclaimer. You're gonna see some chords and all that like in the background. Okay. Hey, it was just one of them days where we just went with it. Nothing was gonna stop us. We're like, hey, we're just gonna make it do what it do. That's okay. Because you know we wanted to get it done.
Action. You got to take action because sometimes you try to make it perfect and you never start.
That part.
We've been talking about this for months, like we said, and we're just starting. So,
yes.
So we're like, you know what? It ain't gonna happen unless we just dive into it. So, hey, you know, this is how the workspace looks after you get off work. You know, but it's okay. We're here. You know, in the podcast world, you guys don't see anything. You know, so.
Sorry, let me adjust your mic a little bit.
You don't hear me?
I hear you, but like not as clear as me.
You want me to talk like this?
You know, that's fine. Back up.
Looking like a weird. Yeah.
Carry on.
No, that's all I was saying. I was saying, you know, sometimes you just got to take action. You just got to take action. You know, you got to get rid of your. I don't want to say your standards because it's good to have standards, you know.
You need standards.
Yeah.
You need a baseline, okay? Yeah, you got to work off that.
So we're not saying that, right? But what we are saying is, you know, you want to sometimes you just gotta just start. You gotta start. You just gotta dive into it, right?
Right.
So that's what we're doing today.
Yes.
All right. So kind of set the tone, Kimberly. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, so like Cleet mentioned, this is our first podcast, the Strategy Geeks Podcast. So thank you so much for tuning in. Before we jump right in, though, be sure to follow us. All right, subscribe to our podcast, The Strategy Geeks. You can find us at www.strategygeeks.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn as The Strategy Geeks. Okay,
that's right.
Quite simple.
By the time this recording, this podcast, is done, we'll be on Apple. Apple Podcast now.
Yes,
it's called. We'll be on Apple Podcast. I don't think it's called Google Play anymore. I think it's called Google Podcast. We'll be on Spotify. Trying to think of the main ones. I think those are the top three. There's always some other ones that I don't know who goes on those, but there are people going, and we'll be on there. We'll be on that distribution list. So, but I know the primary places where you can download the podcast or just stream it will be available there. So that, while you're working, podcasts are great because, a lot of times, while we love video and we're still doing the video component, sometimes you're at work, right? You can't get distracted and watch a video, or you're driving, or, you're in a meeting. You probably shouldn't be. You probably should be on a podcast in a meeting, but that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But a lot of times you're in a situation where you just need something in the background that gives you energy. If you're like me, you might have those moments in the day where you get tired, and you need a little wake you up. So these are great for those. You can get some insight. You can get, if anything, you could come and hang out with some people you like to hang out with.
Yes.
Like we listened to Kev on Stage and that chick Angel.
Shout out Kev on Stage Studios. If you're not on his app, check out Kev on Studio.
Kev on Studio. Kev on Studio.
Hold on, let me get this right. Let me say it right. Hold on. Okay, Kev on Stage Studios. Okay, Make sure you download his app. Funny content, hilarious content.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
You have him. He also does a podcast with his wife.
Yes, the Love Hour podcast.
We've been on ET's podcast. We used to listen to that for several years.
Yes,
and we still tune in from time to time. But it's just great. It's a great way to get content to,
the masses.
Yeah, well, for us to get it out to the masses. But I'm saying a reason to listen, right? It's a great opportunity for you to just get some insight on different things that you like to hear about. But then also, I found myself just, at work, listening to a podcast and literally feeling like I'm in the studio or wherever they're recording. I feel like I'm just there hanging out with them as they talk about the various topics. So we want to create that type of environment. Though the majority of our topics are going to be surrounded or are going to be around the top, around the entrepreneurial journey, things that you want to do when you're starting up your business or your brand, because you may not be an entrepreneur. You might just have, I'm an artist, right? I sing, I rap, I dance, right? There could be so many different things you get into. We want to create an environment where you can just kind of come and chill with the Strategy Geeks and get some insight and chop it up, basically. So
chop it up. Good job.
Right. Yeah. So
who are the Strategy Geeks? Well, first we just wanted to get a little background about ourselves. I'm Kim the Geek. I'm the wife to my co-owner.
Oh, that's what I am. Oh, you want me to say my name?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, why are you looking like that?
Just say your name and then I'll
Click the Geek.
You had to think about your name.
I did.
No, I'm Kim the Geek. He's Cleek the Geek. And together, we're the Strategy Geeks, right? But yeah, so I'm Kim the Geek. I'm from, what is it?
No, I just forgot about Instagram.
You forgot about the peoples up there. Anywho, I am from, born and raised in South Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida, to be exact. Some would argue.
Small city.
Let's not go there. Okay. Born and raised from West Palm Beach, Florida. Ventured to Orlando, Florida, where I went to UCF, Go Knights. That's where I met my husband. We are college sweethearts. That's where we met, got married, and we end up just, making Orlando, Central Florida, our home, right? And we have two amazing kids, Aiden and Paris. Aiden is our second grader. Paris is our VP care right now. So, during this pandemic, it was a whole working from home and being teachers, being the cafeteria lady, being PE coach. Well, Cleet was handling the PE coach, being the art teacher and being the janitor, being everything But anywho, they keep us busy nonetheless. What else about me? Let's see that you all like. I am what? What are you about to say?
You can talk about your brand. You got your brand.
I'm getting there. So if you don't follow me on the social media, the interwebs, okay, you can find me at the Kimberly
the Geek. What?
KimberlyGums.com. That is my personal website there where I help busy moms strategize for their lives, right? Strategize whether it's your faith, strategize, as a mommy or as a wife, or in business. So you can find me there, KimberlyGums.com. Also, my Instagram is at KimberlyGums. And yeah, I love all things 90s R&B. I love me some Disney and Hallmark movies. So
definitely Hallmark.
What was the
Hallmark? It's like
Hallmark,
geez.
Especially. Well, my favorite is Hallmark Christmas movies, but now like they have the winter movies, the good spring. Now it's the spring movies, and then next will be summer and then fall. But great, shout out Hallmark.
All right,
and that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. So,
and then Cleet will kind of segue in how we came about with Strategy Geeks from his story, and I'll jump back in at that.
Yeah, I think I was just going to dive into that. Well, I mean, I guess I could go a little bit about
a little background. Where you from?
Oh, everybody knows where boy.
They don't know
where the boy from. Born and raised in the county of Dade. Yes, sir. So I'm from Miami, Florida. Born and raised, of course, in Dade County specifically.
Small city.
If you say so. But no, I was born there, raised there, and I came up to Central Florida for UCF, where I met my beautiful wife here, as she talked about earlier. Okay. I've always been in design and art. Obviously I showed signs of the talent when I was very young. So my dad and my mom made sure they kept me in art magnet school. So I went to art magnet elementary school, art magnet middle school, and then against my will, but I'm so happy about it. My dad had major influence on me going to a school called Design and Architecture Senior High, School of the Elite.
That's not in their tagline. They're known as Dash.
Yeah, School of the Elite. And I'm matriculated from Dash. And wait, we're not talking about sports. Okay, we're talking about art. But I went to art magnet school. Whatever.
Anyway, I'm just making.
I went to art magnet school, and so I've been exposed to the design world my entire life, literally. So I knew that was going to be my career in some regard. So I came up to UCF, started off with a graphic design major, ended up switching to marketing after getting some insight from a few professors just about how to position myself as I graduated. So I graduated with a marketing degree, and it just so happened both Kimberly and we graduated right around the time of the Great Recession.
Recession, that's right.
So
in the middle of the recession,
right in the middle, smack dab in the middle.
Right.
So we came out of college and we were just trying to scratch and survive. We was getting sales jobs and any kind of job. We were substitute teaching. We're doing a little bit of everything, and it wasn't until
not everything, but
yeah. Let's clarify that.
Yes,
we're everything that was legal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to buy some drugs?
We're doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah. No, we're legal. Okay.
Yeah.
We're believers. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, so fast forward to about 2013,
mm-hmm.
I got a chance to get into my first job, where actually I got into a job as a IT specialist, but they had no marketing department. So the whole entire time I had been still freelancing, doing graphic design for different clients. And then I started to pick up web design to build my own website. So I needed to build my own portfolio. So I started learning WordPress, and I was going through the motions and figuring that out. Well, once I got to this IT job, they didn't have a marketing department. So I stepped in to that role, and I built their website and started to get my early experience with marketing, even though I had a degree with it. Right. Mm-hmm. So, fast forward from there. So that was about 2013. And then 2015, 2 years later, after spending time building websites, still freelancing and building websites for that employer, I launched, Kimberly and I launched, but it was under my name at the time, Cleat the Geek and Co.
Right.
So for the longest, I was operating on the Cleat the Geek and Co. And we're building websites, doing the same thing we're doing now as Strategy Geeks, minus the social media management and the messaging. I was strictly just building really dope and clean looking websites, and then just creating some fly logos.
Right.
So did that for about, I'll say when we started Strategy Geeks officially, was it 19 or 18?
2019.
2019. Yeah. So 4 years. So 4 years. And of course, I didn't strictly stay with the graphic design and the logos only, the logo design and the website only for those years. I eventually started to gradually, switch or add more repertoire to what we or add more to our repertoire is the way I guess you say it. But anyway, I started to, add the messaging, because these are different things you're just learning from experience, right? You build websites, you start to realize no one's going to the site if it doesn't have any call to action, if the messaging is off, if it's boring, all of those different type of things. I'm on the mic.
Oh no, keep talking.
How? You just pushed me.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I thought a message was coming in.
All right.
Keep going. My bad. Interrupt your flow.
Short arms. Let's talk about that. Because I was just like, it's just a little arm.
He's always talking about my arms, right? Because I'm short. Okay, I'm 5'2". Okay, so my arms and limbs are proportioned with my body. He says I have short arms and short legs.
That was you just reached your whole body over here.
Because I had to
Wow. I'm in the mic, Anyway, so anyway, the point I was making, the business started to evolve to add more services, and Kimberly's involvement stepped up as well.
Right.
And one thing we had always been big on since we got married was working together in business,
which
ministry, all of those things.
And as a side note, since we've been together, we've worked at several jobs together. So it was nothing new in working together. We don't have, I know some people, couples are like, I cannot work with my spouse. That's not our testimony. We've always been able to work with each other, be with each other every day.
Yeah, I like your company.
Yes.
You're great.
This is great. But yeah, we don't mind. So we've worked several corporate jobs together. So
yeah, and
that was great.
Yeah, so it was about, okay, how do we bring Kimberly into the business and make her more visible member of the business? She had been helping on the back end.
That's right.
So obviously, I didn't feel right as a husband with a 50% mindset, in marriage, right? I didn't feel comfortable with it just being under my name. I wanted her to be equally represented. So we started going through the names. We actually started with the Branding Geeks.
That's right.
Now, we, at the time, we thought branding was a great way to kind of, what would you say? It was a great way to combine all the things we did, right? Because website could fall under branding, obviously logo and brand identity, that's branding pieces, right? So we started with that. But then, we started to get training. Shout out to our business coach, Ronnie Brown.
Yes.
And we'll talk more about her throughout these different podcasts, but shout out to her. She really encouraged us to kind of get our business
in order.
Yeah. Clean it up, make sure we're legal all the way. We're always registered with the state as a limited liability company, but she encouraged us to go out and get that
trademark.
Trademark.
So basically what you're trying to say, we got an attorney, right? And
we ended up getting an attorney. Yeah.
Yes, to make sure everything was was done correctly, right? So it was in our best interest that we just go ahead and go change that thing to the Strategy Geeks.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
You don't want to get the details.
Okay, you can give the detail. You can give the back end of the story.
No, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. We just, it's just a funny thing. It turns out that there was a lawyer that actually owned
a similar Close.
something close that it was something close to Branding Geeks.
Yeah.
So we were like, I don't think we want to go to war with with the lawyer, right? But it ended up working out to our advantage because Strategy Geeks actually gives us a broader definition or a broader label of what we actually provide, right? Because while we focus mainly on building your website and your logo and your branding and your messaging, it's really strategy for your business, right? It's a strategy for your web presence,
right?
It's a strategy for how to set up your, as we like to call it, your hub, right? Because with every business, with every brand, you have to have a way to receive funds in some kind of way. You have to have a way to present your products and your services and present your history, show client testimonials. You need all of that. It's a strategy for bringing in new clientele and also retaining clients. So we figured that was a better definition of what we do and what we bring to the table. So that's the Strategy Geeks, and that's what we do, kind of all in one, right? It's the history of it, but it's also like what we do and that kind of thing. So
just wanted to give you a little spiel on our backgrounds, where we came from, and why we started it.
Yeah,
the Strategy Geeks.
Now you want to dive into who we serve?
Yeah,
let's do it.
So, who are these Strategy Geeks? If you're joining us, this is your first time listening in on us, or you may have seen, our logo or a post of ours on one of the platforms on the internet. Who are the Strategy Geeks?
Who we serve?
Oh, we
just talked about.
Oh my gosh! Look it up. He talking about. We just talked about who we is. Now give them who we serve.
They're like, look, we gotta listen to this again.
Yeah, you're right. But in a nutshell, I do want to say essentially all that what he said. Okay, we're digital marketing agency. Okay.
Yes.
Where we handle that in a nutshell. Right.
Digital marketing agency that focuses on web design.
Yes.
Graphic design.
Yes.
Messaging. And when we say messaging, we talk about the voice of your company.
Yes.
Or your brand, right? So what voice, tone, personality does your business have, or does it represent, right?
Right.
What brands and other nonprofits and organizations are you associated with, right? All those things go into your brand and your messaging. So we really, we've had the opportunity to work with a lot of different companies in different industries. So we have staff that are experts in really honing in on really strong messaging that can effectively convey to the world what you bring to the table. So while we do build amazing websites, and we're able to build anything from a e-commerce website, a store, an online store, to a member networks website where you have members logging in and have portals and all that, we can build the whole gamut of that thing. So we also build apps as well. That's a new addition that we've added to our repertoire. But yeah, so that's the official, we're I say digital marketing agency, or we say, to be more descriptive, we're a graphic design and web development agency.
Yes. And thank you. Somebody just said, Fifi just said, y'all are media moguls to me.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sis.
That's much appreciated. But yes, like Cleet, in addition to what Cleet just said, who we serve, right? Our clients, or who we serve, are female entrepreneurs, specifically African American female entrepreneurs. Yeah. I know over time, like Cleet mentioned, before we became the Strategy Geeks, when we were just operating under Cleet the Geek and Co., we found out like our average client happened to be African American female.
Yeah, like
and African American female.
This was completely organic.
Yeah.
There was nothing. We weren't doing any marketing. This was all referral based,
word of mouth.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because One of the things that attracted me to my wife is just how how strong of a woman a woman she is, and how she carries herself. She represents the sorority.
I was about to say
the Deltas.
Delta woman.
She's a Delta woman.
Well, first, I'm a Jesus woman first, because he gives me the confidence,
Well, yeah, that part,
and then,
so that's where the root, honestly, that's the root of it, right?
Right.
But just trying to associate with some strong Black women,
yes,
Deltas, sororities, period, right? All of the panel, how you say it?
NPHC.
Yeah, that the whole all of the Black sororities. That's we're gonna put it that way.
Yes, people say INDEPENDENT.
Oh man, but no, strong Black women. Obviously, that attracted me to her, and honestly, for me, a little bit about my background. I'm not going into great detail, but my mom, I was raised by my mom. I mean, my dad was in the picture. Shout out to him. But I lived with my mom, and my parents were separated before I was born. So my mom raised me. So seeing my mom, a strong Black woman, basically raised me, my older brother, and I have some younger siblings. Raising all of us as a single mom and wearing all of the hats that she had to wear. That was really important to me to kind of support and support and be a resource for women that I saw, my mom in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that was just something innate in me. That's something that's always been a part of my psyche that, I don't try to put out into the world, but it just comes back to me. So it was not surprising that majority of our clientele became that. So we learned a long time ago. It's like you go where people celebrate you. You don't keep going after the group of people who don't want to be around you. So we're like, hey, listen, if that's who we're organically attracting, then let's start to really lean into that and
cater to them
and cater to that audience. So, we do serve we have clients, we have clients all over in all races and different business sizes. So we're not exclusively serving African-American females, but that's our passion.
Right.
That's where we put a lot of our focus and our marketing dollars, if you will.
Right. So. And then I do want to mention, along with, who we serve, we do have core values that we do stand on as a company. And I just want to mention those real quick. So our core values are authenticity, integrity, high quality of work, and excellent customer service. Now, we believe, to have those, in order to have a successful company, these values are extremely needed and crucial in a business. And I believe and especially in this day and age where how can I say this?
Well, people are not being integral.
Right. It's a lot of people out here in business not being integral. It shouldn't be this way, but you really stand out when you are authentic as a brand. When you're
on that part. Authenticity.
Oh, you want to stick on the authenticity?
Well, yeah. Think about a lot of times, and it's funny. We had a conversation today. This is great.
Oh, which one?
About
because we work together,
about you being yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So Kimberly mentioned it earlier that she has she's building her personal brand.
Yes.
Which is more so personal / family brand, right?
Yes.
She wants to be. She is an influencer.
Thank you. Thank you. Come on, you have what you say.
That's right. She's an influencer that attracts all of the large brands, particularly Disney, Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Come
on. What?
Come on.
But no, she's a brand, and
yes,
as she builds a brand, we had a discussion about, okay, should I really let people see how goofy I am? Because anyone who's still watching on Facebook and they know her personally, they know that she has a goofy switch like none other.
Do I?
When people most of the time, you have couples, right? So you have these couples,
so serious.
and you have these couples, and you're like, okay, there's always the serious one and the one that talks a lot and that's more jovial and that kind of thing, right? So a lot of times that's me, right? People are like, oh, Cleet, you're goofy, you're this, you're that, right? And I'm like, listen, just as goofy as I am, this one right here to the left of me, to the right of you guys on the video, maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if it's reversed, but
yeah, to the right or left, whichever way you see it out there.
Right. Or
if you're listening, but here I'm to his left.
But so we're we're 80s babies, right? So
yes.
We're still young at heart. Don't get it twisted, but we're still
I'm young. Period. Okay.
We're still listen. This is what I'm trying to say.
Come on, come on, come on, come. I could pass for a good 18. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna argue.
I'm just messing with you.
No, I'm not. You're looking good, girl. You're looking good.
Anywho,
but like we're from what I'm trying to say is we're old enough where on social media you feel like you got to put on. You know what I mean? You can't, like, our parents raised us where it's like you come out the door, you don't just come out the door looking any kind of way. You gotta,
like my mom said, have some class. Have some
That's
class.
perfectly put. Mm-hmm. Have some class, right? So because you're representing your family name, you represent your lineage, all that stuff, right? So we take that mindset, our generation, we're I was about to say Generation X. Definitely not. We're millennials.
Yes.
Come on, millennials. But as millennials, we're still old enough where you kind of have a little bit of that, what we call old school now, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
But on social media, you really start to see influencers and just people who are enjoying their time on there. They're having success because they are being their authentic selves.
Yeah.
Some of them are. Okay. We kind of got on this tangent because we're talking about authenticity. So, with authenticity,
mm-hmm.
Sometimes people try to fabricate it, but, once again, the word is fabrication, right? It's a form of authenticity, but it's not real, right? It's something you have to, you have to put on. It's not authentic. So we had this quick, not big discussion, but a quick discussion about just her being herself, letting people know that letting her see that goofy side of her, not this polished, I'm
because I'm an introvert. I'm naturally an introvert.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
she doesn't want, or she doesn't want to feel like, I gotta make people laugh all the time, or
be the WB clown.
Yeah, not the clown, the frog. It's all right, I know
why
what
you gotta
meant.
say it like that.
I know what you meant.
Not the clown, the frog. The WB frog.
Yes. But just to be your authentic self,
right,
and tap into that, and when you do that, you really start to attract the people who you would naturally attract, and as a result, people. That's your niche, that's your audience. Those are the people who are going to be your brand loyalist, and they're going to continue to champion your cause, whatever your cause is. So. Mm-hmm. That's really big. Authenticity, integrity, obviously doing what you say you're going to do.
Keeping your word. Like if you, as a business owner, if you say you're going to do something, like finish it to completion, like do your word, execute it, and not only execute it, but go above and beyond. That's how you stand out from the rest.
That's right.
And then
high quality of work, right? So that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, okay, I'm not going to, no matter if I give you a large discount,
right.
If we give you a large discount, or if you paid the most we've ever received from a client, we're going to make sure we're putting out something that we're proud of. We make it personal, and that can go in, and that can work in any industry, right? Whether you're doing a presentation, whether you're you're creating products, makeup and clothes and all that, whatever it is,
right?
You putting out those products in a way that you're excited and you're happy about,
right?
Not just doing it for the money, right? Because ultimately that'll backfire on you long term. And then customer service one. This
excellent customer experience.
Excellent customer service. This part here is often overlooked because you feel like, okay, my product is so fresh, it's so hot, like people that's all they want, but people want an experience. They want to feel heard. They want to feel like you understand them. a lot of times when we speak to our clients, one of the primary things that they say is like, wow, you're actually available. You actually answer the phone.
Yeah.
You actually text back. You actually email back.
Yeah.
Or you don't only send emails, you actually jump on a call with me.
Yeah, you're a real person.
Right.
And I was gonna finish your statement.
No, I'm just saying it's a lost cause these days.
Yeah.
It's a lost art, should I say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and this is a one of the items as well that makes you stand out as a company when you give your clients or customers an excellent customer experience. And like Cleet mentioned in his intro, his background in graphic designing and website designing, my corporate background has been customer service. So like a lot of that is in my field. And I believe this is a huge value that you should also, have in your company as well. If you don't already,
sorry.
Yes, you're playing something. If you don't already have that in your business, think about adding that, standing on that pillar for your business, having an excellent customer experience. I always say, me and Cleet talk all the time, of course. And like one of the things I'm always saying is like, you don't ever want to be reactive with your customers, but you want to be proactive. So there should never be a time where the customer has to reach out to you and say, what's going on? No, because we're already steps ahead and we're already like giving them the next steps. And this is what's happening. Like in our case with specifically like websites, we're already steps ahead. Like, no, we're at this portion of your web designing process. This is, this is what you should expect right now. This is what's coming up. This is what we're going to need from you, and so forth and so forth. Always be ahead of it. And that goes into a good, excellent customer experience as well.
Well, I mean, it goes back to, think about it. Like we're customers ourselves. I think sometimes as business owners, we lose that focus, and we have someone watching. They made a comment that some Black owned businesses don't have that focus. That's because so once good. Again, let's talk about some of the amazing things Black business owners do, right? Soul food, right? They're like, listen, when you eat these ribs, when you eat this mac and cheese, I don't care how you gonna get over how I just may have cussed you out or been short with you,
or took long,
they don't,
or the hours available.
Right. All they're caring about is cooking that food to perfection and getting it on that plate, right? Yeah. So a lot of times, they'll skip over the customer service aspect. But what happens, that business stays small. Mm-hmm. It stays mom and pop. Yeah. It stays right there on the corner. It never grows into a franchise. Businesses that become franchise, they focus on the customer experience so that they can get that into a process. Right. And once it's in a process, then you can duplicate that and spread it throughout the world, throughout the country, throughout the world. Right. So this is why this is important to us, because it's a part of your scaling of your business. Mm-hmm. If you don't set up processes where you are taking care of your client and you're making them be back clients is a way to say it, or loyal clients, then you're hurting the growth of your business. Right. You may be temporarily, skipping over a step and feeling like, I don't got time for that, as long as they get the product, right? But long term, you're stifling the growth of your business. Yeah. So these are some of the things we talk about in our lives in the past, and we'll be talking about in these podcasts. But it's really important. The customer service thing is kind of where we hang our hat. Mm-hmm. We try to make sure we, like Kim said, we over communicate and we try to resolve issues quickly, right? Yes. Make sure we communicate. So no matter what the client's going through, a lot of times they can tell you that the strategies we're going to take care of you. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. Say we dropping gems.
Yeah, they say you're dropping germ. It's been a long day. Hey, listen. You're dropping germs. You're dropping gems. Dropping germs. No, someone said that Cleet is dropping some gems. So yeah. That's good.
And that's what we want to provide in these podcasts. Right. So hopefully we can keep doing that. We want to get feedback from you guys and for future podcasts. So this is why we're every time we record a podcast, we're going to do it live like this. Yes. Because we want to get feedback, we want to interact with you all. And we want to keep that live component too. That was pretty fun. So we want to, just kind of do the best of both worlds. Yeah.
So, did you have anything else to say?
That's it. I was about to say, what you got next?
Oh, well, at this point, so that's pretty much who the Strategy Geeks are. That's what we do. And we're here for you.
Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of we're about to get out of here, right?
Yes.
So before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit about what to look forward to with the shows. We've been tossing around some ideas. I told Kim that it'd be cool for her to have a little portion of the show.
I'll think about
it. She have a little portion of the show where she do her influencer content. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit more about your influencer content, like what type of influencer you are, and
right.
Kind of some of the things that you might be talking about in your segment, because the way that the show will flow, obviously we'll intro in, mm-hmm. we'll have a general topic, like today's topic was getting to know us, right?
Yeah.
But then a portion of it is going to be, Kim's whatever tips of the week or whatever have you, right?
Right.
Then I might have, and I'm thinking of a section, and we'll play this by ear. We'll try the sections, the sessions or section, whatever you want to call them. And if they don't hit, then we'll switch it up, right?
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Not married to it,
right? But I might do something where I'm talking about different tools and softwares that we're using or that our clients are using that might be beneficial to your businesses.
That's good.
So, but yeah, give them a little slight commercial on the type of things you might talk about and a little bit more insight on what you do as an influencer.
Sure. So, interesting thing is, it goes right along with the Strategy Geeks, right? So I'm Kim the Geek, we're the Strategy Geeks, but with my personal brand, I give strategies for women, specifically busy moms. So the type of influencer I am is a mommy lifestyle influencer. So I give moms strategies, in their faith. Mainly I talk about, I'm a big encourager and I feel that, your words out of your mouth are important. You have what you speak. So I do confessions a lot. So
you say, help us.
Help us. Yes. So, I help moms with confessions, some daily, weekly, monthly confessions, with their faith lifestyle to keep you on point, to keep you having a better than ever life. Also with mommyhood, right? A lot of our clients are moms. They're, women, of course. I mean, we serve guys too, but our typical client are women. And they're moms. So I provide I provide strategies for busy moms. That could be anything from school, because I have school age kids, meal planning, schedule planning, just organization, travel. Yeah, like not necessarily, well, I wouldn't say travel planning, but like getting ready to travel. Like, it's a difference. I don't travel plan for you, but getting ready to travel, like knowing like what to pack, how to pack, that sort of thing is my jush. Mm-hmm. And let me see. Also for the boss moms, right? Because what were you about to say?
They said they can't hear us on Instagram. That's interesting. Because it should be picking up us just talking to them.
Yeah, it should be. I'm not sure. We'll try to work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Thanks for that feedback.
Yes.
What is it? Winning with Winnie. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We're live on Facebook as well.
Yes, at the Strategy Geeks, if you could catch us on there for now. Yeah. But yes, also I help. Go ahead.
Can't hear us.
Oh. Still talking. Like, hang on.
Yeah, yes. We'll work it out.
Type that out, babe. While he's typing that out, yes, and also to boss moms, right? Whether you're in the corporate arena, right? You're 9 to 5. You need some strategies with your work life or entrepreneurial life as well. So those are the areas I provide strategies in. Oh, and also my other side, love that I like to give busy mom strategies in is Disney World. You know, I say like in my blogs a lot when I talk about Disney, like Disney is pretty much in our backyard. We're like 45 minutes away. So I say it's our backyard, okay? Because it's not that far. And we love to go to Disney. So
listen, you need strategies for Disney, okay?
Disney, you need, especially as a mom, you need strategy, especially with multiple kids.
Yeah, to get on these rides.
And just to like plan your days or your stay or however long you're going to be there and how to go from park to park and restaurants and all that, where to stay,
it's a world,
all that stuff.
Legit.
It's a whole
it's called
thing.
Disney World for a reason.
It's a whole thing. So yes, I love to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell.
Sweet.
What I do.
What
else you were about to say?
No, that's it. I mean, we're going to wrap the podcast up here.
Yes. So thank you all so much for joining us in our, somebody said trial podcast. Our initial, what do you call like the first, what's the word?
Oh yeah. Wait.
Your hold on. I'm going to get this.
Pilot. Well, that's what they say for shows. Why was I so loud?
I know. Pilot. Our first podcast episode, Strategy Geeks.
Pilot,
yes. Thank you all so much for joining us and listening in. Like Cleet mentioned, we're looking forward to just give you more valuable content, some laughs, and just being ourselves. We're besides husband and wife, we're parents. We're humans, so it's not going to be just like business on this podcast. So you're going to get a whole spill. So that's going to be that's the good part of this podcast.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for talking so far back. Thank you all for tuning in. We're excited for the next episode.
Right.
We like to say it's going to be weekly, but we have kids, so that just throws a monkey wrench into it.
Just stick with us.
But most ideally it's going to be weekly.
Yeah.
And then if it's not, we'll just let you know.
Yeah. Winnie the Winnie, we do have a question. Do you have a video on how we started working together? Have we talked about that? I think on one of our past lives, we mentioned, if you go to our YouTube channel, The Strategy Geeks, we have a lot of videos on there of our past lives that we've done over the past year. I do believe we have talked about it a couple times on how we got into it, but if
we
not,
talked about it a little bit tonight too.
Yeah. I was going to say, once we release this podcast, within a week, you could go back and listen, subscribe to our podcast, and you could go back and listen. And we talk about our story and how we got together and got with the Strategy Geeks.
Yeah. So let's wrap the podcast. We could stay on for a few seconds if we want to talk a little bit more about let her know where we could find us.
Yes. So
thank you.
Yeah. We mentioned before, thank you so much for joining us. You can find us at www.thestrategygeeks.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn as The Strategy Geeks. And now we'll be on the podcast platforms. Okay. Be sure and make sure you have your notifications set on the social media platforms. Okay. Hit the bell icon on all the social media platforms to let you know, when we post notifications or whatever have you. So you'll be notified when our podcast will be officially released. So you could go on and subscribe. So be sure to follow, like, subscribe, share. And
I was going to say, and that's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. So all of the major ones you can catch a podcast episode on, and we'll be on there. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
We out here.
Hope y'all have a better than ever week. Until next time.
All right, that's the end of the podcast.
Bye.
That's where I cut it. But we can stay on for a second.
Yeah, so we can stay on now. So that would be like the end of the podcast where he'll cut it right there. Thank you all for joining us live tonight.
Yes,
okay, we had Fee in the building. We had Bree in the building. We had Uncle Kev in the building. We had Jared in the building. We had Brandon in the building. Winning with Winnie.
Yes.
Let me see.
So Winnie,
hold on. There was one more person. Hold on. I am Yolanda. I'm sorry. En route to victory. I just want to make sure I give shout outs to people. Yeah. We saw you.
Yeah. So anyway, so winning with Winnie. so Kim was saying on our YouTube, we have all of our past lives. We're doing lives for the last year and a half, and now we're switched over to where we're doing a live recording of our podcast.
Right.
So same kind of content, but we're going to be putting it into podcast format and getting it out to the world. So so excited that you joined today.
Yes.
You can, if you want to hear a little bit about how we started, we actually went into that this episode. So this is going to be on YouTube as well. We'll post these on YouTube, but then if you want to get the podcast where it's all put together,
it's audio version,
you'll be able to catch it on that. So hopefully that helps. We appreciate your support. We'll try, we're going to make sure we check out your stuff as well. But yeah, this was great. For everyone who was able to hang out with us for this last hour. They're not going to be this long, but it's just the first one. We had to get it all worked out. So
yeah, it was some kinks and stuff, but thank y'all for working with us.
Yes.
And being with us.
Yeah. Well, if you have any, we don't do the questions anymore.
Yeah.
So. All right, y'all. We out here.
Have a great one, y'all. Have a great week. Good night.
Good night.
This is the X, right? Okay, and then in broadcast over here. Yeah, we good. We still live. Good night, y'all.